So we already suffered through stupid car buyers and the $100,000 truck epidemic, but it was only a matter of time before we got around to SUVs too. Whereas I had some sympathy for truck buyers who maybe needed it for their job, most of these SUV buyers shown today are literally just shooting themselves in the foot.
$115,000 for a 2026 GMC Yukon.
Imagine spending $100,000 on a Suburban. Right, this is a high country, and you're sitting on steel wheels. And I'm not joking, $95,000. It's kind of a joke. GM won't let you keep these.
Reminder, no hate to anyone actually buying within their budget, or especially with paid off vehicles. We love to see responsible vehicle owners on this channel. However, if you're a regular here, then you already know that those will not be any of the people shown today. I get that the economy is tough right now. I've got plenty of videos on that, but no one asks these MFs to take a $100,000 loan on a brand new 3-ton infantry fighting vehicle just to commute solo to work in, only to bitch online about their 16 miles per gallon as if that wasn't the consequences of their own decision. Like, it's insane how many of these people drive their massive SUVs completely solo, no kids, a lot with no plans on even having kids, just to deliver food, and I genuinely do not get that.
I'm working Uber right now. I bought a car from you guys like 2 months ago. The car I bought from you guys was a 2025 Toyota Highlander. Right now the payment is $11.50 a month, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We have a Porsche customer that's using a little bit too much gas on DoorDash.
Man, is there a way we can return this thing, or maybe we could swap it out? You know, I've been using it for DoorDash last night and then today in the morning, but man, they just use too much gas, man.
Having said that, I will not be mentioning a bunch of statistics this video, as the Overpriced Car Epidemic already takes care of everything you need to know about the state of the car economy right now, so I highly recommend you watch that video after this one for more context. But for this video, let's just move straight into the stupid, goofy ass loans, and trust me, we've got plenty of them today, and they get more and more ridiculous as time goes on. So you're gonna want to bust out your favorite meal, because this will be the longest episode yet.
2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Okay, this is how.
Cherokee for $1,500 a month?
Okay, listen.
Why?
At a 14.18% interest rate as well. Oh!
You're paying almost $1,700 a month for this car, brother. And it's the baseline Highlander. They opened up a credit card for you so you could put a down payment?
Yes, they opened up a credit card.
What?
But in reality,
what dealership was
it's a
this?
credit card. Toyota.
How much did you pay for the car?
Oh, they didn't even tell me.
They didn't tell you the car price, brother? I mean, you had to sign something. You didn't sign any paperwork?
Yes, I got the paperwork, but I don't know how much they told me for the car. Because I didn't really know about stuff like that, and I went just like that.
Chapter 1. The Stupid SUV Buyer Epidemic. These people taking out $1,000 a month car payments when they barely make $3 to $4 grand like the truck guy from last video, that's just self-inflicted bullshit, right? That legit has me pressed. These irresponsible purchasing MFs do not deserve to have a seat in the group therapy session. I want to make it very clear. The economy is indeed tough right now, and you can watch my other videos covering those topics, but these MFs do not get to cry about that, since they have absolutely created their own hardship and done this to themselves.
A $700 a month car payment is not normal.
Okay, but considering SUVs are $75,000 to $95,000, and if you finance that amount of money for 5 years or less, you're looking at a $1,200 to $1,500 a month car payment. So no, it's not normal to have a $700 a month car payment if you're driving a hoopty. I think normal is a spectrum.
The average car payment getting higher isn't an excuse to drastically overshoot it and make it even worse. Oh, but of course car payments are higher, 75, 95 grand, that's the normal SUV. That is not normal SUV prices. Stop this absolute propaganda. Also, why are we calling anyone who isn't putting up with a $700 a month payment driving a hoopty? Either you deal with these new car prices or you go put up with a hoopty. That's a bit black and white, don't you think? Post-COVID, probably 2 to 5 grand buys you like a hoopty, but there are plenty of 20 grand vehicles that you can buy that are far from hoopty status. So let's take a look at real average car prices then. 50 grand is the real new vehicle average, and 25 grand is the average used vehicle price. Both of these are backed up by actual data and statistics. So regarding 25 to 50 grand especially, this still buys a very nice SUV, car, or truck for $500 a month. We don't have to be getting nearly $100,000 monstrosities. Like, it's even sadder that some of these people are deep into adulthood, like double my age possibly, and they should have their lives already figured out. And instead, they're just kicking down the ladder, and each time they take these ridiculous vehicle loans and emboldens dealerships, it makes it harder for us younger folk to actually get good deals from car dealerships. Just like with 100 grand trucks, loaning a 100 grand SUV is the most avoidable foot shooting I've ever seen my entire life. They do not get the luxury of complaining about gas prices, hard times, and layoffs, especially if they still have a job, still are getting paid above the median salary, but also willingly choosing to loan a $100,000 vehicle that gets them 16 miles per gallon. Wow, the consequences of my actions, who would have guessed? My younger peers will always get my condolences, and they absolutely have permission to hate the state of the world right now, since they are at a legitimate disadvantage regarding building equity in the soul-crushing economic state in this world right now, because it's hard to save money when every single penny you make has to be used on your living expenses. But come on, these SUV buyers who screw over their own lives, they had the most avoidable financial situation, but they still got themselves in it. Zero accountability. Chapter 2. But I have a kid.
Nobody warns you buying your dream mom car means a $230 fill-up. Obviously, the ridiculous high car payment and insurance aren't the only cost to the vehicle, but maybe I should backtrack that statement. I guess it's not obvious to some. Why are we driving a Denali with only one kid? I'm just laughing because the amount of examples that I've seen of this exact scenario, along with the justification from the creator. We figured it made sense to upgrade now. We'd love more kids in the future, and my old car was over 14 years old. Wanted something safer for our baby. As if a car made in 2012 is just bound to blow up on the side of the road. If you bought a $100,000 Denali, putting gas in it should be light work, and nobody needs a Denali. You bought it for status, not practicality. Kinda hit the nail right on the head there.
Well, if it isn't the usual Karens at it again. Why are we buying massive 3-row vehicles over 80 to 100 grand just because we got one kid, or one kid is maybe on the way, or sometimes they don't even have any kid, they're just speculating about having kids so they're not even pregnant yet. Now, first off, congratulations if you do have a kid or more. Having children is still great. This is not something I'm going to ever downplay, and that is not what we're bashing this chapter, alright? Just rather, let's focus on the objective things instead. Your kid deserves a family with a stable income and parents who aren't impulsively buying something that they genuinely will not care about. Your kid is not going to notice the luxuries of it. I did not care about the 1990 Chevy Lumina that my father drove my mother, brother, sister, and myself around in. We don't need these massive 7 to 9 seater vehicles to carry a literal baby or toddler who would easily fit in the backseat of a Mustang even, much less a cheaper sedan, hatchback, or very comfortably in a normal crossover or compact SUV.
So I'm not buying a new car. That's wider than 17 inches. You're not going to be able to fit it. You will.
Most kids do not care about status symbols or luxury badges. They haven't learned that yet, and better yet, it doesn't kick in until they hit the identity surging phase, which is around post-puberty or their teenage years. Even then, if they're a really smart teenager, they're not gonna identify themselves with items because that's the saddest shit ever. Like, shout out to my younger Gen Z audience watching, since by choosing to watch channels like this instead of brain rot, you will statistically have a brighter future ahead of you, because you guys won't be the ones falling for these stupid slop consumerism trends that I'm still seeing plenty of 20-somethings fall into. And
brainless consume.
Off and then ready?
Pink. This shit. 3, 2, 1.
And like, being 22 is now mentally the same as like being 14. It's such a tragedy. We got a bit off topic, but I'm glad we talked about what we did. A 25 grand compact SUV or sedan would have done the same job. Your kid really won't care. Like, speaking of social media, I hate this parent cosplaying culture that happens online now. There are definitely so many more videos that cover it better than I do. However, I just want to mention it here because it feels like to some people, having a kid is a novelty. It's not actually about bringing a beautiful life into this world. It's like, ooh, I have a kid now. I get permissions to make fiscally stupid decisions and just say, oh, I'm doing it because I have a kid. Oh, I'm not being financially stupid. We're doing it for the kids. Memories are priceless. Your kids are too. They won't even remember the Disney World trip in your 100 grand SUV. And people do this not just on Caleb Hammer's show. They openly admit to this on TikTok and Instagram.
We took all the kids.
All right, may I be insulting? Oh, thank you. Good. You guys are trailer trash and you're going to Disney?
Yes. Memories for the kids.
Half of them do not have memories.
Let's stop acting like these MFs weren't just looking for an excuse to go to Disney World. Like, I get taking your children when they're like 5 to 7 years old, since they'll actually be tall enough to enjoy more of the rides and they're gonna remember it. But I'm so tired of this social media parent cosplaying where it's so performative. They just like, oh, I have a baby, guys. Look at my baby, 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 baby. Instead of like giving your baby the privacy it deserves. Like, there's some really huge social media stars who even know that. Why is it so hard for some literal parents to not know that? Like, it's just weird to me. It's okay to tell your family and a few friends, but I just don't get this. This is so detrimental to the baby's future. Like, some of these parents are even buying luxury clothing for their babies and toddlers who will literally outgrow it in months, not even years. And these aren't rich people like they like to portray themselves as. Brokies. I've got a whole epidemic about this. It's just sad. It's wild how many parents are going into debt, flexing their children like they're a status symbol and not like the precious form of life that they actually are. These are literal humans, not objects to be flexed online. Like, I could go on. We're gonna save this huge rant on evil parents for my bad parenting epidemic video, which I promise I'll get around to. I know I mentioned it like a few months ago at this point, but I'm still finishing up moving and changing into like my new home. And you know what? That's a bad excuse. You got my ass. Unc's just being lazy. I'll get on it. Anyways, next chapter.
A lot of people are not willing to sacrifice their lifestyle, and so they get into debt by doing so.
You need to take out $100,000, $200,000 loan and go buy the dream car that you want.
So I mentioned reeling in desire in my overpriced Truck Epidemic video, which if you haven't watched that, absolutely give it a watch after this one. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to annihilate that like button and subscribe for more epidemic slop.
I'm sitting in my paid off Ford Expedition 2018 to be exact. Take a wild guess about how much a brand new 2026 Ford Expedition would cost for a lease. Okay, I'll let you guess. $1,700.
I already said this in my Truck Epidemic video, and I'm gonna say it again. I own a Ford, but even I'm aware I would never pay that much for a Ford. It's a Ford. Why do Fords have the same payment as an entry-level supercar? Like, not even a Ford Shelby Mustang, or heaven forbid a Ford GT. Like, yeah, I get why that costs that much. We're just talking a normal-ass, regular-ass, traffic Ford Expedition SUV. There are literally hundreds of thousands of these on the road, if not millions. I'll look up its production number. This isn't a 1 of 500 Ford GT. If it's not that level of Ford, I don't know why these people are going deep into the thousands of payments. Like, enjoy your paid off Expedition and don't let these dealers ever try to play you like a fiddle like that again. Have some self-respect. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, the fact that she walked out of the dealer, absolute W. This is what I mean by, like, if you're really anti-consumer, if you really are like, put your money where your mouth is. Literally put your money where your mouth is. I don't get why some people get butt by the dealer and then they morally grandstand about how like they hate the economy and how like they're so anti-consumerism and blah blah blah. Yeah, there they are, and they go, no, you can't criticize me. No, are you gonna make my payments?
My car payment costs the same amount that rent costs, so no kidding, I'm going to be in my car 24/7. Are you in your car again? Yes, I'm in my car again.
Sounds like bad financial decisions, to be honest. And then we got another comment, you guys complaining about our car payment, but I don't see anybody offering to pay for it. And the creator responds saying, amen. So you decide to post this video on social media for the entire world to see, and then you're surprised that people are criticizing your bad financial decision. Because if you could easily afford the car, you wouldn't be complaining in this video. Some people's thought process is just absolutely baffling to me.
Oh, are you me? I did it because I'm happy. And they're not happy because they literally talk about how they literally regret having like making the decisions they make.
And after the dopamine subsides from getting a new car and showing it off on Instagram and to your friends and family, this is what happens a majority of the time. POV, the high of buying a new car wears off and you realize you can never quit your job now. Man, those paychecks used to hit before those car payments. Almost 25,000 likes on that comment alone. Walked in with no car payment or debt and left with $33,000 in debt and a $550 payment. But the salesmen are going to say that you got a good deal, at least it wasn't a $750 payment. Laid awake the first night thinking about the 7-year commitment I just made.
Like, I feel sorry for the suckers who do sign these loans and regularly sign off on payments like this though. Like, sure, we can hate the dealers because I still think they're scumbags, but genuinely, it's on you to still read the fine print, read what you're signing, and more importantly, to not get into these situations. Like, I think it's a huge difference if someone got scammed by a dealer on a 30 grand car.
What is one bad financial decision that you regret making in life?
Buying a car from a dealership. My car is worth $4 grand, but it's low key. I'm paying maybe 20 grand for that.
Like, what you mean by that? Like, you got a high interest rate?
Yeah, high interest, and then also they sold it to me for 18 grand, right? So my car is like maybe only was worth 7 when I bought it. Now it's worth like 6. Yeah. And I still got to pay that off. And the APR rate is 30%.
Wait. Hold on. Let's talk.
Versus someone going in for a 100 grand car. If you're going in for a car that's priced at 100 grand, you're already like preparing yourself for high payments. Like, unless you're literally a millionaire, I don't get why someone would do that. And then they then do $0 down payments and do it for 84 months. That's pathetic.
When broke people say, I can afford this, you know what they're saying? I think I might be able to pay the payments. If you don't want to be broke people anymore, you get out of the land of payments. But it felt good when you bought it, and Mama's going to be pissed at Dave Ramsey because her husband called the show and he said, you're stupid. And Mama loves that car, I'll just tell you.
And again, they're doing all of that just to look like a soccer mom. I refuse to call minivans soccer mom vehicles. I'm tired of hearing 40-year-old Karens say that. Like, I don't want to drive a minivan. That's what my mom drove. It's such a soccer mom vehicle. You're all in SUVs now. Can we please retire that stereotype? Literally all of you Karens, it's not even just Karens anymore. Steves, male Karens, tech bro Kevins, you're all in SUVs now. From Jeeps to Teslas, Fords to Kias, there are literally companies that don't even make cars anymore because they just sell SUVs because that's how many people want SUVs and drive SUVs. Porsche literally sells way more SUVs than any other vehicle that they make. They just don't want to say it because then they know that they finally have to accept it. Like, straight up, SUVs are the new soccer mom vehicle. Can we stop this minivan slander? It has been decades at this point since the minivan was a soccer mom vehicle. And anytime someone calls a wagon a soccer mom vehicle, they should just be put in the retirement home because generally that has not been a thing for like 50 years now. Brother, I cheer aloud to myself if I see a wagon these days. They're so rare in the United States. It's actually like finding a shiny Pokemon. You are such a cool mother if you're driving a wagon or even a minivan these days. And thankfully, like Gen Z, we're aware of this. Like, I'm tired of hearing people try to tack that on to wagons and minivans, especially wagons. That is 50 years ago.
Let me show you exactly how to calculate how much car you can afford based on your income.
Chapter 4. What is affordable? Okay, so what does actually being able to afford nice things look like? Contrary to popular belief, you don't actually have to buy something in full to be able to afford it. I'm not actually going to be mad at people who loan vehicles. I've said this throughout other videos, but here's the accepted rule to follow if you are going to loan something. 20% down payment is what 20 means, 4 years, aka 48 months, and then the payment should be 10% of your monthly income.
You are allowed 10% of your income to go towards total transportation cost. That does not mean your car payment. That is an all-in number. It needs to include your insurance, your gas, your maintenance, and your car payment. So let's say that you make $60,000 a year. That's $5,000 a month. That means you can have $500 of transportation cost. The average car payment in America last year in 2025 was $750. So let's assume that you did have the average car payment of $750 and your insurance was dirt cheap at $100. Let's say you spent $150 on gas and your maintenance was $100 a month. That would be $1,100 a month, which means you need $11,000 a month coming in, which is a total of $132,000 a year of income to afford the average payment. You see why we're so out of whack inside of America on this one?
Now, for most of us, especially those close to median or average salary, this will still allow you to comfortably buy like 25 grand vehicle using that rule. And if you've obviously saved up money, you can put a higher down payment to offset the payment, which means that even if you make like a normal salary, if you just save for a few years, you can still buy even a 50 grand vehicle. Like, but you want to know what salaries you would have to make if you're using this rule and you are going to buy these 100 grand SUVs, or heck, even 180 grand SUVs?
I give you 3 quick ways to see if you can afford one. You let me know which one makes the most sense. The first one is 2410. You can't really buy one right now for less than 180K. You'd need about 45,000 of monthly income and annual income of about 540,000 to afford the V.
Every financial advisor channel says this, and while I'm not a financial advisor, I'll be brutally honest, and I'm going to repeat it too. If you can't put 20% down on a vehicle, you can't afford it yet. Don't loan it. Wait. Delay your gratification. And the best part is, maybe a month from now, you might not even want it. You'll be like, oh, that kind of was just an impulsive thought. Kind of glad I didn't sign that loan after all. And you move on with life. Delayed gratification and setting rules and then following those rules is a superpower in today's modern digital landscape. But if you can do it, you will be ahead of almost all of your peers. I'm not some buzzkill who doesn't want you to enjoy life, but after having my own canon event drowning in medical debt for 5 years straight, not knowing if I'd ever even grow old, I was still regulating my own spending and saving. While I couldn't afford to financially thrive, thank God I still survived by carrying my own weight. Like, I'm not going to be some puertornus who hates past me, because I think generally he did the best he could with all the cards he had on the table. Like, my goal wasn't ever to be rich, but rather not be a burden financially to anyone around me, and more importantly, someday to just be financially free. I take a lot of pride in that, right? Like, my goal is to get to Coast Fire. Having said that, it still infuriates me to no end to see these perfectly healthy individuals with their whole life ahead of them, so they don't have, yet they still use the tired excuse of, I buy nice things because you don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow, you don't know when your last day in this world's gonna be. And then they say that as they drive massive trucks and SUVs that are more of a danger to everyone else on the road except themselves.
Which is why research has found that people are 44% more likely to die when hit by an SUV or light truck than they are if hit by a car. For children, that number was found to be 82% higher. And for children under 10, it's 130%.
But nah, they're the ones worrying about dying tomorrow. Caleb says this all the time to shut down this argument, and I'm going to as well.
You're 24 and you've never figured out anything ever, and you literally just sit and your only complaint is, I can't figure it out.
In my defense, I thought I would have offed myself by now, but I obviously
how
didn't.
nice. That's only what every other guest says on this show. So that's such a bullshit thing, such a Gen Z. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Okay, Boogie298. Like, what? Shut up. That is seriously 30% of all guests are saying that these days. I didn't even need to think about it. I wasn't even worried about it. I didn't even think I'd be alive. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Grow up and do something. Take a second and think and advocate for yourself.
Do you plan on dying tomorrow? No? Okay, shut the fuck up. Seriously, most of these guys are going to make it to 60. We're talking easily 93% or higher will grow old. So they should prepare for the future. You owe it to your future self. Like, fuck this doom spending bullshit I hear normies with no chronic illnesses spew out. I will never make fun of a chronically depressed person who's officially medicated or diagnosed with wanting to end themselves, but I will never see someone who doom spends, then throws out these excuses of, oh, I might die any day, as being on the same level of someone who's actually thinking about tomorrow being their last day. Like, that is, this is not the same level of empathy, all right? Let's not get cute here. Like, I would love to travel more while I'm still healthy and able-bodied to move around easily, but I'm going to gladly save that probably for my late 30s to even 40s. Since I already made my bed, my financial sheet, obviously, you can see what I picked in my 20s, was automobiles. And that was my only one. So, like, I didn't buy expensive phones, didn't go to constant concerts, blah, 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 blah. So, like, if you're someone where, like, if you're doing the 24-10 rule, if you're, like, make 5 to 6 grand and you have a 10% payment of your salary, so, like, $500, like, that's still a lot to spend on a car. But if that's, like, your only expensive thing, and it is only 10% of your monthly income, that's why I'm not going to judge you, bro. Like, generally, like, I would make me a hypocrite. I'd be like, you know what? Enjoy your life. Like, if you can control yourself and that's your financial cheat for your 20s, go for it, bro. It's just don't stack them up, because then I meet people who get completely addicted to this FOMO culture where they go to these concerts, they constantly go on these cruises, they hang around and with people they don't even like and feel like they owe them something because they don't want to look like the poor person of that friend group.
I didn't want to go. I had a horrible time.
Dude,
If that makes you feel better.
You did. It doesn't. It doesn't.
It was miserable.
Okay, so why'd you spend on this? Why'd you do it?
Because I'm a pushover? I guess. I don't know.
No, you're easy to do pushover. But you don't have to be a pushover over on everything.
Her and her friend kind of had a falling out before the cruise. That's what made it awful.
Awkward. Yeah, it was really bad.
Wait, so what happened? You were just there with someone you hated?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was.
That's just sad. Anyways, if you want to watch more stupid auto loans, then check out my other videos and subscribe for more weekly epidemic slop. Like this video if you learned something, share it to your friends so that they can laugh at these idiots too, and thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all next time. Bladed Angel out.